Hey guys, Chris from Tillman Family Farms. It's a Thursday afternoon, and I came home and I had a little surprise on the carport. My netting is here. So these pigs that have been locked up in this training pen for a little too long, that I've had some problems with, tried to put them out on 2 strands of hot wire. They did not respect it. I have a pretty good feeling that I figured out why, and I'm going to go over some of that stuff with you guys. I'm trying to get this water barrel filled up, and I'm probably going to go and get the rest of my stuff, get it out here, and I'm going to get this netting set up so I can get these guys out of this pen. All right guys, for those of you that have been following along, I'm pretty sure that you remember from the last video that I talked about that I was getting some netting. So the netting is here. Had a little bit of a hard time finding netting right now. Premier One, everything was on back order. There's a couple other brands out there. We found this netting. This is from a company called Starkline. Starkline. This is not hog netting. This is utility netting. I read through it, and the spacing on the holes and everything seems like it'll be fine. It's a little taller than what hog wire is, but I think that may be able to even use this down the road as poultry netting, even though these holes are much bigger than what the poultry netting is. I think our birds have trained enough to be able to use it on that down the road. I am still a firm believer in the single strand or 2 strands of electric wire, because I've got pigs in it right now that I hadn't had any problems out of. So, but anyhow, I'm gonna get into this Starkline netting. I already see a couple of differences in it from the Premier One stuff. So I'm gonna go through it, get it stretched out a little bit, and see what it's like, and I will get back with you guys in a second. All right guys, so Jamie and I have been out here. Look at this nice hairdo going on. Jamie and I have been out here, and we've got all this electric netting up. So this is 2 164-foot sections of fence. So that's 328 feet. It was actually turned out to be a little bit bigger area than what I had with the wire for these guys to begin with. The fence is pretty nice. It's a lot like the Premier One fence. There are some things that I like, and then there are some things that I don't like. I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing turned on. We just set the charger up. Jamie's up there about to release the pigs into this area, or at least open it up, and they can slowly come over or whatever. But I want to get them in here. They've been in that place long enough, and as they're in here and we're kind of checking them out, I'm going to go over this fence and tell you what I like first, and then I'm going to tell you what I don't like. Okay. All right, so charger's on. Got a piece of rebar in here for the ground. We have already turned it on and tested it. Everything's good and hot. It's off right now because she's up there messing with the fence, but you look right here. This is the same exact way that the Premier One stuff goes together. It's the little plastic things are the same. I mean, it is a lot like Premier One. This is what they call their utility netting. So if you are familiar with Red Brand field fence, these spacings in these holes remind me a lot of that. So let me start with what I like. Okay, what I like is that it is pretty durable. It's a lot like the Premier One, and it was easy to stretch out and easy to get set up. This whole section all the way up through there, and then you can kind of hardly see it over there, but that whole section down through that side and then up right through here, we set all that up in about 10-15 minutes. So good and nice and easy to go. One of the other things I like, so these step-in posts. So these are the 2-spike step-in posts. If you have a Premier One fence, you know that these are just the metal, and there's not really a whole lot of room. You kind of got to position it right on your foot. If you got on crappy shoes, it'll hurt your feet a little bit. These kind of have a section to step on it. The metal rolls out through that, and that's hard plastic through there. They stepped in really, really nice, and I kind of like that part of it. As I was finishing that last clip, I noticed that she had let them out. So while we're talking and these pigs are kind of running around, I want to tell you guys some of the things that I think contributed to these pigs not respecting the wire once they got released into this area with just the 2 strands of electric wire. Number one, their training pen up there on the hill behind that Kawasaki was right beside the fence with their mother. I feel like I should have moved that training pen a pretty fair amount of ways away from all the pigs. I mean, they would get shocked by it, but they just didn't really care a whole lot about it. Then the other part was that when I let them into this area, good Lord, pigs running everywhere. Woohoo! These are happy pigs. Golly, they need to be out of there. I'm so glad that we've got them out of there right now. The other thing was that I've got 2 other feeder pigs in this area over here where you see that. And I think what happened was when they got in that area and they saw that pigs were on the other side of that wire, they just thought in their little minds that it was all right to go over there with them. Not being trained on the wire, not being out on it before, I think that that was probably a contributing factor as to why they went through there. So we will do this much different. We have a sow, which is these guys' mother. It has already been rebred, and we have a gilt up there that we're pretty sure is already bred as well. So we'll be having more piglets in the future, the near future, and we will do this much different next time. But so I'm going to go into what I don't like about this fence now. All right, so once again, I'll compare this fence to Premier One, and I'm doing that solely for the reason that I have some Premier One netting, and it's all that I have to compare it to. The posts right here, as far as the construction of them, is relatively the same. The diameter of them may be a little bit smaller than what the Premier One is. The one thing that I noticed immediately when I took this stuff out of the package is that the wire that's actually hot in between everything is a smaller wire than what the Premier One is, which in my mind is telling me that it doesn't have as many filaments in it, and it's probably not near as conductive. I'm not all that concerned. These guys have been on electric fence, which they're all coming down here to check me out. But anyhow, they've been on electric fence, and they've been shocked a bunch of times. I think that this is kind of give them the illusion of a pretty solid barrier and the shock along with it. I do think that I'm going to take the advice of Chuck from over at Sheraton Park Farms. He suggested that I also run a single strand on the inside of this to continue to train them to that, which I don't plan on them being in this netting the whole entire time. We may have to use it again one day, but don't plan on it. I want to get back to having pigs on a single strand like we had, because it's a whole lot easier, a whole lot faster to set up, less storage space, the whole 9 yards. But anyhow, that's where we're at with it. Jamie and I are going to sit out here for a while and see what we think about it and how safe we feel sleeping tonight. Pigs finally getting to do what they should be doing. All right, so last couple of things on this fence. I think one of the things that I left out that I don't like about it is the spacing between the posts. It's got to be a good 10 feet. I think the 8 to 6 foot is what I would like better. But as of right this second, I don't have any complaints. I think this is going to do exactly what we wanted it to do. Price point wise, this was really inexpensive. Like I said earlier, this is 328 feet of fence, and I think with tax and shipping and everything, we paid $279 for this to the door, and there was 2 sections. So all in all, in my opinion, this is a good review of the Stark line utility netting. I would be interested to see what their other products are. I know there's a few things about this that I don't like. There's a few things about the Premier One that I don't like. So all in all, I think it's a good product. It's going to do exactly what we want it to do, and we will probably give an update on this at some point. The future, this will probably be used for more chicken netting. So I mean, I think it's a good purchase. I think it's going to do what we need it to do. So we shall see over the next few months. All right, guys, so that's it for this one. We feel like we finally got these piglets issues solved. They've been mischievous little children. This was our first litter of piglets here. Bad little piglets, oh my goodness. We hope that this netting is going to be the answer. It's working pretty good so far. We're happy with it. So we'll keep you guys updated on how it goes and the way that these guys grow. And as we get closer to farrowing for the next time around, we should have 2 next time. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do so. We're all the time explaining our mistakes to you guys so you guys can learn and maybe not have to go through the same things that we are. But for now, we're out of here. We'll see you on the next video.